What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to Talking March Madness. I am Miguel Mike Medina. This is my partner, Avery Jones. Avery, it's Thursday, day one of Sweet 16. Are you ready?
Well, I am ready, Miguel. I know a lot of people are ready as well, especially fans of college basketball. Today is going to be a great day, and going into the weekend, it's going to be fabulous.
No question about it. We're going to kick things off with San Diego State versus Alabama. Look, and I know I told you this already, but I'm going to say it for all the listeners and viewers out there. San Diego State is one of those teams that I have as a sleeper pick in this tournament. San Diego State might be disrespected because many people feel that Alabama will steamroll San Diego State, but I feel that Alabama hasn't seen a defense like San Diego State. Alabama's a very good team. They're the number one seed for a reason. Yes, Alabama has more depth, but like I said, I like San Diego State's defense. They're big, they're strong. I just feel that Adam Zako needs to have a big game against Alabama. It's a must in order for San Diego to have a chance. So they're going to need him, but I'm going to go on the limb here, and I say that San Diego State will win by at least 1 point.
I agree with you, Miguel. I think San Diego State is a sleeper pick, especially because they're ranked 5th, and it's kind of an odd number to be a sleeper pick and you're ranked that high. So going up against Alabama, Alabama is one of the 2 number 1 seeds left. They've made it to the Sweet 16 without much trouble, unlike Kansas State and Kansas and Purdue. But I see this also being a close game. I see San Diego State telling all the haters, hey, look what we can do, and they're going to do it on the backcourt. I think they're going to do it with their defense. Alabama is going to need to also counter that with a great defense of themselves. I hope this game isn't steamrolled. I hope it's a close game. Alabama had a very interesting year, like Purdue. They were ranked, I think, number 1, 4 times, but also they lost once they were ranked number 1. So this is going to be an interesting game. I hope Alabama doesn't see this as a cruising game to get to the Elite 8, but I do see San Diego State giving it to them. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I'm going to go San Diego State by a point as well. I'm going to say like 65-64. But I think it's going to be a close game throughout. But I think the most dramatic part is probably going to be in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yes, we saw Alabama steamroll the first 2 rounds of this tournament, but I just can't see that happening against the San Diego State team. I just can't see it. But we'll keep an eye on this game very closely. Miami versus Houston. Houston, 33-3 this year. Miami, 27-7. Houston can go all the way this season, the way that team is constructed. I do see Miami as one of those dark horse team in the tournament. I feel that Isaiah Wong, once he starts to get going, he can be a threat to any opponent. So I'm going to be looking out for him on this one. Is either we're going to get in 27 point versus Indiana, Isaiah Wong, or we're going to get 5 point against Drake, Isaiah Wong. So he's going to be an extra next factor in this game. So Houston is better defensively. I feel that they're very dangerous, especially in the second half. But this is not going to be an easy and quick matchup for Houston. I do pick Houston to win this game by at least 5 points.
I agree with you, Miguel. The University of Miami basketball team has kind of been undermined by the football team. Their college basketball team has been very good over the past couple years. I believe making the tournament at least the past 5 years. So going up against Houston, they probably see this as a major test of their program. I see them keeping it close, but Houston could probably run away with this. I see Houston taking this by at least 7, but I think Miami's going to keep it close. But, and you're right, Isaiah Wong either has to be hot from the beginning, or if he's cold and not producing, then it's going to get away from Miami way too fast. I'm going to go with Houston, a #1 seed surviving by about 7 points. I'm going to say this is going to be about 70-63 for score for Houston.
Princeton versus Creighton. Princeton, we know that they have confidence, especially after beating Arizona. So people could think like, okay, we beat Arizona, why can't we beat Creighton? Because Creighton is an all-around very good team. Kalkbrenner, we know what he's capable of. He has to be the difference maker in this game, and I have a feeling that he will be. So I have Creighton winning this game by at least 8 points. Creighton will have to take Princeton seriously, and I think that they will, because they couldn't catch them by surprise. But I just feel that all around, Creighton is a better team, and I feel that they're going to come away with a victory by at least 8 points.
This is an interesting game, Miguel, because you have Princeton at a 15 seed. They're playing Cinderella. I think Creighton needs to take Princeton seriously, because Princeton could be this team that when they played Arizona, they're like, okay, we're going to play this team. And then all of a sudden they're going to the next round, and Arizona's sitting there with their heads, their hand in their heads, and like, what happened? So you're right. Creighton has to take Princeton seriously. Princeton has to take what they have shown right now and keep building and building to move forward. I'm going to go with Princeton on the upset, but I think it's going to be close. I want to say 2 points. I think there's something about Princeton, especially in the past 7 years. I believe Princeton has upset a couple of schools in the past 7 years during the tournament, that they keep it close. They take Creighton seriously. Creighton is going to take Princeton seriously, but I see this being a very close game all the way down to the wire, and I see Princeton upsetting Creighton. Now, if that's not the case, still, I see this being probably the kind of dark horse game of Thursday and Friday. I see this being a very good game, but I'm going to go with Princeton on the upset. I think midnight has not rang for Princeton yet, so I'm going to go with Princeton by 2. Let's say 65-64.
Nice. Last but not least, Xavier versus Texas. Now, this is one of those matchups where people are completely thinking that Texas is gonna smoke Xavier. I'm like, hold up, pump the brakes. After what I saw that performance against Pittsburgh, Xavier, they might be #3 seed, but in that game, they looked and they played like a #1 seed. Their ball movement was effective from the beginning. Points in the paint was incredible. This was a team that was playing fast pace, and they were making Pittsburgh take difficult shots. So Xavier is one of those teams that is clicking at the right time, which is a positive note for them. Yes, Texas is the better team, but I still pick Texas to win this game by at least 6. But it's not, I just don't see Xavier getting blown out. If they bring their A game like the way it did against Pittsburgh, anything can happen in this game. But I like Texas winning this game, especially the way they played against Penn State, which is one of those dangerous teams in the tournament. So I see Texas taking this game and moving on to the Elite Eight.
I agree with you, Miguel. I see this as being a close game. I don't see Texas steamrolling Xavier. I see Xavier keeping it to Texas to prove they're not just a one-trick pony, if you will. So I see this game being close too, but I see it probably getting lopsided at one point and then possibly coming back and being close. But I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I'm going to go with Xavier on this one. As that this is a 3 seed versus a 2 matchup. It doesn't seem like that on paper. So even with a close seeded matchup, I'm going to see this as being a close game. But at certain points, it could get out of hand. I see, 10-0 runs or 12-4 runs for either team where they could, get out of the gate quickly, and then all of a sudden either team can have another run and all of a sudden it's close. So I see this, being close. Then later on in the second half, I see Xavier pulling it away. But this game is going to be a seesaw. I see this game being as a seesaw kind of game, probably late in the first half, probably starting the same way in the second half. But I see Xavier taking this. I see them taking this by 10. I see Xavier taking Texas by 10. Let's say like 68-58. But I see Xavier taking this. I think their game against Pittsburgh said, hey, we're here to dance. We don't just want Sweet 16. We want Final Four. We want national championship. But in order to prove it, they have to show up. They have to hit the boards. They got to make those second chance shots. They got to go from downtown when needed. So I think this is Xavier's game to lose. Texas has all the right weapons, but I think this is Xavier's game to lose. So Xavier needs to show up and show out.